game on, and I shake my butt. This is where I shake my butt. I shake my butt. Right?
I hear you.
Star Wars, The Last Jedi. Though really, I'd be happier if this movie was called Star Wars, The Last Star Wars. Oh my Jesus! Oh God! Oh God! Stop it! Oh my God! Stop it, please! Stop, you sick fuck!
Hello, hello, and it's the start of another CGP podcast. Isn't that right, Forest Keeper of the Canon?
That's right.
Emily Pineapple.
Emily Pineapple. I know your name.
I know you know my name, but I figured I didn't cue you heavily enough to introduce me. It's like pouring someone else's sake. You're not supposed to pour your own. We shouldn't be introducing ourselves.
You're right. I, Forrest, the keeper of the canon, shouldn't pour my own sake.
It's another CGP fan podcast mini-sode by We the Trash People, and we're talking about Josh Sharp today. Josh Sharp, whose episode will be on, it's the 5th episode of CGP, and it will be on July 24th, 2019. I'm pretty excited for this one.
I'm really excited, especially as the degree to which he's hosting 3 different call-in shows got built up, and knowing there's 3 different sets, 3 different guests, or 3 different co-hosts. Like, it's literally 3 different shows he has to run between. It's not just that he has 3 topics at once.
Oh my God.
Like, it's such a...
Of course. And I should have guessed that it would be that elaborate after seeing a ton of his stuff. I mean, following up last week, we were saying that Christy Cello is bubblegum. Martin Urbano is black licorice. Keith Haskell is cherry mash, of course.
Yeah, I mean, after that episode, for sure.
Carmen Christopher is a root beer or like a sassafras lollipop by C's, right?
Oh, specifically by C's, wow.
Well, I don't know if they make other sassafras ones. The root beer flavored thing.
Yeah. So you're wondering, what would we say Josh Sharp is?
Yeah. I think he's something tangy, right? Like...
Yeah. But I think, like, I think it's one that you can probably, like, I don't know, yeah.
It's chewy. Something chewy, but also, like, tangy in, like, it's one of those amalgam ones where you're like, this is a fruit, but I couldn't tell you which one, and neither can the candy makers probably.
It's definitely a very ambitious candy. Whatever kind of candy it is, it's a candy that's trying new things and pushing the game forward.
Now and Later?
Are Now and Later's innovative candies? They're pushing the game forward?
But you chew on them for a real long time, and they're good the whole time.
I'm not a fan of Now and Later's.
Oh.
So that's why I think that's why I'm like, no, he can't be that. I don't like Now and Later's, and his comedy's amazing.
Well, we'll shelve the candy discussion for now. Hopefully by the end of the show, we'll be able to figure out what he is. But yeah, we're really excited. 3 call-in shows, and here's his bio. We'll start out. It's on the Comedy Central press page is where we got this one from. Josh Sharp has been performing at UCB since 2009. At UCB, Josh premiered the long-running musical Fucking Identical Twins alongside frequent collaborator Aaron Jackson. Fucking Identical Twins was optioned as a musical feature by 20th Century Fox with Chernin Entertainment aboard to produce. Why is it not started? Why did we not watch this? Because it's in theaters being released everywhere.
I mean, I don't think it is in theaters being released everywhere yet. I think it should be, and I hope it one day is, and I will go.
So they're still working on it.
Yeah, no, it hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
It hasn't come out yet. If it had come out, we would have bought it.
But it hasn't been killed, has it? Right?
That's a good question.
Probably not.
I would hope
it's
not.
still on his thing. Well, I want to see it.
Because I think that bio was from when the opposition was still on, so I don't know if that bio is totally up to date.
Well, we certainly hope that they're still in production on that.
I sure hope so.
Jackson and Sharp also co-created, co-wrote, and co-starred in Jared and Ivanka, a Funny or Die web series. Sharp hosts UCB's monthly experimental comedy show, Cool Shit, Weird Shit, and was introduced in Vulture's 2015 list of comics you should know, and was named Comic to Watch by Time Out New York in 2014.
So that bio is definitely out of date, because I don't think he doesn't host that show anymore.
Well, that's an out-of-date bio, I guess, of Josh Sharp. Hopefully hopefully we'll be able to provide a more up-to-date one. I mean, we heard a really up-to-date one if you heard the CGP companion podcast with actually Chris Gethard on it.
And actually Josh Sharp on it.
Yeah, like the real podcast about this. Go listen to that,
It's
losers.
on the Earwolf Presents feed, so look for that.
I don't think anyone listening to this hasn't heard that. I don't think anyone who's like, I'm going to click this link hasn't already heard that real podcast and been like, oh, I can't get enough Chris Gethard. I guess I'll go to the fan shit.
That's a good point. The
Shout out to Old Paint Can on Reddit, by the way,
Yeah.
who keeps posting our episodes like in his little lists. Also, doing fucking awesome work on Reddit, keeping everything up to date. He posts, or they post. I have no idea what gender this person is.
Yeah, no idea.
They're an old paint can, apparently. They post a lot of just like videos of the people who've been on the Chris Gethard show. They post associated things about Chris Gethard, and it's all in the Chris Gethard show subreddit.
Yeah, you should definitely check that out. It's really comprehensive, and it's a really fun way to see what else people have done who are on TCGS.
Yeah, it is really fun. It's becoming something kind of cute. You know, it's a little subreddit. But yeah, tell us about his frequent collaborators, or at least the first one, Forrest.
The first one is Aaron Jackson, who we've brought up before as being part of Fuck This Shit, the improv troupe that also includes TCGS head writer Drew Johnston. But Aaron has worked alongside Josh on a lot of things, including the Jared and Ivanka web series, the show We Will Turn You Gay, the musical that we brought up earlier, Fucking Identical Twins, and The Opposition with Jordan Klepper, where they played a double act that were sort of like Milo Yiannopoulos inspired and were hilarious. Yeah.
I'm gonna be brokenhearted. This would be the biggest scandal if we find out that they're not friends in real life.
No, don't say that.
I know, right?
How can you suggest that?
Where you see one, you usually see the other.
Yeah, they're both on the episode of the special that Josh wrote also.
A lot of the also
Yeah.
stuff. I think that they are either best friends or like, oh my God, I kind of want them to not be best friends because I want them to each write tell-all books about each other. I think that they're like Diary of Their Spat.
I'm going to root for harmony. I want them to be friends who get along and have a great time writing their shows and performing together and just like hanging out.
Weren't there a pair of comedians that were extremely famous that actually hated each other in real life?
I mean, probably.
Wasn't
That's
that
probably
like
happened.
the story of Abbott and Costello? Am I spreading vicious rumors about Abbott and Costello to comedians I know very little about?
Are you thinking of Abbott and Costello or Laurel and Hardy?
Dude.
Because I don't know. I barely know the difference between either one. My comedy knowledge starts in like the 60s. And it's still pretty like vague until you get to like 90 something.
So before you all are like, wow, these fuckheads know nothing. Yes, we know nothing.
Oh yeah, no, I keep the canon. I don't necessarily know things outside of this realm.
But yeah, also is another frequent or noted collaborator. They are a collective. They're a video house team at UCB Comedy. I'm not sure if they are still active or not. They've done a ton of short films you can see them on their Tumblr and on YouTube.
I think they're not. Their Tumblr said that they're a former house team, so I think they've since...
Well, their mission was to create short films that focus on narrative, are surreal but emotionally grounded, and are cinematic and visually dynamic, all in equal parts to being funny. We want everything to be earned. And Jesus, they freaking earn it.
Yeah, they really do. They hit it out of the park.
Yeah, watch all of their videos, especially the ones with Josh Sharp. It's also, you'll notice some alum names. Teresa Lee, Don Finelli, Andy Bond, Tom Levin, Hannah Kettering, Veronica Osario, Matt Denny, Brian Morrissey, Maëlle Dolavu, who's the co-creator of Lone Cornmeal Machine and epic, incredible artist who I just kind of want to do a podcast about, even though she's not necessarily doing a CGP episode. She might be doing like more well-paid things, and so she doesn't have time.
I would love, though, that if the next time there's a pre-recorded CGP episode, it's like an animation in her style with like, especially like current stuff, like paper craft comics and stuff. That would be so cool as an animated thing.
50 minutes of that would take so long to make, though.
I'm not saying I would suggest
I don't think
that, because
like,
I think that would take years.
Gethard's kind of made it in that he has some cash. I don't think he has that kind of cash.
No. That I wouldn't suggest doing it because it would take so long. But I think I would love to see it as someone who wouldn't have to spend the painstaking hours to make it. And then Matt Denny, who was brought up in also co-hosted the show How Shit Works with Josh and co-created the live show Cool Shit Weird Shit, which was brought up in his bio, which is now hosted by Devin Ritchie. And in case you're wondering what Cool Shit Weird Shit is,
oh God, I really want to see it.
I really want to see it. It sounds very, remember how in Lose Well Gethard mentions that his name was used as like synonymous with just like weird comedy?
Yeah, and how people would come to like UCB directors and be like, I want to do a show. It's Gethard-esque.
Yeah, this feels Gethard-esque in that sense. Because it's a late-night conceptual comedy show with a new theme every month in which the guests are encouraged to do things that are far from your typical stand-up sketch or improv. Created by Josh Sharp and Matt Denny, it's not your usual midnight comedy show, whether it's playing the Beatles' Abbey Road all the way through and having comedians perform visual acts to each song, a show where all the material is catered to the host who is high on LSD.
That's so Gethard, right?
Yeah, there was the Pot Brownie episode. Or a show in which each performer has to face their greatest fear live on stage. I think that's there's an episode where they just like scare Bethany the entire episode.
Oh God, that's so sad.
Cool Shit Weird Shit has it all. Some of what you see will be cool. Some of what you see will be weird. It will all be cool shit / weird shit.
Oh, I want to see it.
I want to see it so bad.
I want to see it. Somebody film it. Someone do an illegal bootleg on their cell phone and then tell the people running it that you're doing it and give them some money for having a cool show.
Or pitch them on doing a nice promotional video to spread the word about cool shit, weird shit.
Or do it not super sketchily. Or be not just super sketchy of a person. I don't know. You can make that choice for you. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're just saying.
I'm just saying. So his previous work, he's been on the Chris Gethard show quite a bit, but I think the most beloved character, well, at least by me.
I mean, I also love this character.
He plays vampire Abraham Lincoln Hunter in 6 episodes. I think I've only seen him in the his first appearance, which is episode 58, the crowdsourced character contest. He was also on episode 120, the cream wedding, as part of the wedding party for the guy who likes cream but not too much and his personal barista.
That was the character's last appearance, and he's it's I love that character.
Yeah, he was the name was sent to the show by the fan Alex Brown. And he shakes his butt. That's the first quote in the intro of this. He lures people. He's killed over 10,000 or 100,000 Abraham Lincolns.
Yes, many Abraham Lincolns.
Many Abraham Lincolns, who you might confuse with gay men.
Yeah, because that's how he thinks you describe gay men. Is just they're all Abraham Lincolns.
Well, not exactly.
Right?
Kind of.
Am I wrong? You
kind of both.
Feel free to retcon my incorrect statement away so that it is now canon.
I just watched it like 5 times to get a quote from it. So I'm like, well, Forrest, it actually goes like this. And then I'm like, I don't want to do his whole bit. I'm not good at this. You don't want to hear me do that. It's fun. He talks about being a power bottom. Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
I was surprised that the revelation came in the first appearance.
Oh, yeah?
Because based on the CGP podcast, I definitely thought it was like a thing that was built to. and that originally it was just a fun inversion of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Which is funny of itself. Like,
It is.
what?
Yeah. Yeah, I love how many layers there are to that. There's 2 layers, but I love both of those layers. And then in the episode Smash Cut to the Future, he played a less notable character, which was Stillman's robot army member. Stillman was the dystopian alter ego in the far future of Connor Ratliff, who was old enough to be the ruler of the entire universe. And he just was... Josh Sharp was just wrapped in aluminum foil all over and had like a giant metal penis. And it's great. You should definitely check out that episode and Smash Cut to the Past, where he's part of the Hemlock Gang, where when one of the Roman ancestors of a member of the panel says the magic word, the Hemlock Gang comes out and makes them drink hemlock and then perform their death monologue in front of a microphone. Which is in itself a fun riff on the Wiffle Bat Gang, where they got wailed on by the Wiffle Bat when they said the magic word. So it's like, those are some great episodes.
I'm so excited to get to those episodes in our normal podcast.
Right?
I've missed so many things. He appeared as himself on the Beef Off and the 12-hour election special. And in the Beef Off, which is great, he helps judge the push-up contest. There are a number of individuals in the Beef Off contest, and they're judged on various tasks, correct?
Yeah, there's a bunch of... They have to prove how beefy they are through multiple challenges. And the one he judges is based on the intensity of their push-ups, not the quality of their form or the quantity of push-ups, their intensity. And they are doing these push-ups directly above him.
Yep.
And it's great. It's wonderful. Definitely check it out.
Rob Malone, the world's greatest dancer, is
Rob.
one of the people doing push-ups. Is sort of a liberal description of what he actually does.
It's like a cobra. It's very cobra-like.
Very cobra-like. Yeah.
And then he was also on the 12-hour election special, but that's 12 hours. I haven't seen that. I don't know what he does. You should. If you figure it out, email us.
Yeah, tell us. Take the time, and we'll know then, and we'll be happy that we know.
I like to know things, but aside from TCGS, another thing he did was Hello Norman in 2014, which was a video that he did with also, and it's the story of a man just going about his life as a puppet. It was produced by Matthew Denny, Don Finelli, Veronica Osario, and Josh Sharp. Josh stars in the video as well, and it was written by Maëlle Dolavu from the Lone Cornmeal Machine, who created the puppet involved and is even in it in a small role on a television.
Yeah, she and the director, Tom Levin. Yeah, they appear in the TV. It's very Maëlle. It's very like, this is Lone Cornmeal Machine, and she's just incredible. So
it's also very Josh. Mm-hmm. Which is great.
It is. It's a very surreal little film. Like, the comedy is super understated. Murph's in it.
Yes, Murph is in it as Drunk Man.
Really reaching here with the roles.
Murph's great in it. Don Finelli's also in it as a bartender.
Yeah, and it's fun seeing them get laughs in a way that's completely divorced from the way that they do it on the Chris Gethard show, or using their words even. Like, all of their laughs come from just the looks on these guys' faces, and it's so funny. I'm just like, wow, acting is hard, and they do it well.
Yeah, they're real good. So definitely check that out. It's amazing. We've been showing it to everyone.
Oh, right?
We watch YouTube with ever since we watched it. So definitely check it out.
Yeah. The next one is The Tape, which was in 2014, another also film, and it features the person with the best hair in television,
Shannon O'Neil.
Shannon O'Neil. She stars as a mom looking through storage from the garage after a move when she finds a tape that says "With Love XXX," which was made by a younger version of herself. And
Josh wrote this one, too, which is it's great. It does capture his sense of humor very well.
Yeah. Jersey Dave ran the second camera. Mael was the art director. Tom Levin did director of photography and director of directoring. The director's director. And was so fun. Again, really fun to see Shannon do a role that isn't her Chris Gethard show role.
Yeah. It was a role that wasn't, it was so different. Like, I know I'm repeating what you said, but it was interesting seeing her play a character that's like in her persona, her comedy persona, but very distinct from what we normally see.
Like, I haven't seen her be a mom before or dressed like a mom, as in like not just in her hoodie. And I kind of want Shannon to be my mom. Like, gonna be real for a minute. I mean, who wouldn't want Shannon as their mom? They would never get bullied. She would murder their bullies.
Yeah, no, all of your bullies would immediately be as intimidated as Joe from Queens was when she like stared through the television and shot like fury at him, and he immediately hung up.
Yeah, he melted. He actually melted and died, and someone else pretended to be his character the next time.
Exactly.
But that original one melted and died.
Yep, he's gone. But I'm bad at segues, so in 2015, Josh and SNL Sashir Zamata did Joshir, which was a variety show that they both hosted, and there's some videos from it on YouTube. We watched the first one where Josh and Sashir talk about D'Angelo, the R&B singer, and we learn that he's a mythical sex god.
He has a third ball, so he can come more.
It's amazing.
He has sex instead of eating.
He's like a sexual Chuck Norris.
It's just great.
It's
and
wonderful.
then they sing and they make jokes while they're singing.
Yeah.
To like a D'Angelo song.
I would love to have seen that show.
There's 8 episodes of it.
Yeah, and they're all about
currently
4 to 5 minutes.
Okay, and that's the entire episode or just clips from each episode?
It's not the whole show. It's just video sort of, I think, highlights of the shows to sort of promote it and get people to go check it out.
So someone somewhere has the entire show filmed?
I didn't say that. I don't think anyone has it. I don't think
we found this one right before recording. Yeah. That's why we're like, we don't know the things, but it was so good. We found this literally right before recording.
But also those 8 videos are the only videos on that YouTube account, so I think that's it. I think that those were the only ways it was documented for posterity.
Aw.
I mean, that's live comedy.
That's live comedy.
If you miss it, you miss it.
Unlike Not 2, which is another also film featuring primarily 2 tomatoes, 2 things of garlic, cloves of garlic, and some other assorted food items. Josh produced this video alongside Don Fanelli and Veronica Rosario. Josh and Don were featured in the video. They're the voices of the tomatoes. And it was written, edited, and directed by Tom Levin, UCB powerhouse, essentially. He was on like everyone else that we've featured also. Yeah. I think he's touched almost everything that these people have put out. He's the real father of comedy, not Papa Geth.
What? You think it should be
Tom
Papa Levin?
Papa Levin? I don't know. Maybe he's more like Uncle Levin with a camera.
He's just the uncle who like documents all the birthday parties and is like, good job, everybody.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, like my brother who's really into film equipment. I don't know. But yeah, it's essentially, what was that movie with Seth Rogen where he's a hot dog?
Sausage Party?
It's Sausage Party as it should have been.
I like that that's where you went with it, because I went, it's like a brutal VeggieTales. It's just like a really dark and messed up VeggieTales that answers why are they all on the counter at the beginning of the episodes.
It's if anything, then it's the Hindu VeggieTales, based on its mythology.
I mean, I wasn't even going that deep into it. I was just they're talking vegetables, and then
you know, obviously what happens to them is what happens to them.
Fate comes no matter how much they run from it.
Yeah, and everything then is. The way that it resolves reminds me of like what is the thing where everyone is all a smart part of the giant oneness? You know this.
I do, but I'm blanking on it. Oh no.
The name
the
of
Ottman?
Sure.
Where you're like, it's like the oversoul thing?
Yeah, that to which we will all return.
Yeah, the ground of all being, from which we all spring.
Yeah, so Josh
Yeah.
Sharp and the ground of being from which we all spring should be forever associated in your mind.
And I apologize if I mischaracterized any of that to any Hindu listeners.
Yeah, no, actually, though.
Like, I know I laughed at the end of it, but I sincerely apologize if
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Please send any. I mean, happy to air corrections on that. But after Not 2, they Josh Sharp and Aaron Jackson did Fucking Identical Twins, a musical, and we have a trailer that we'll link in the show notes. But the show has been described as when Trevor and Craig, two business adversaries, suddenly realize they're identical twin brothers, they decide to switch places, reunite their divorced parents, and become a family again. But there's a few problems. Dad is too busy fucking sewer boys, and Mom's vagina fell off her body and crawled away. Will
You ever
Taylor?
have a night like that?
I think we've all been there. Will Trevor and I said Taylor earlier too. Will Trevor and Craig be able to reunite the family they never knew they wanted? Also, it's musical. Basically, The Parent Trap if it happens to horrible, disgusting people. I really want to see this.
I know, yeah. It was optioned as a musical feature by 20th Century Fox. That means a feature movie that has music in it, right? Or does it mean that this would happen on a stage?
No, I mean, that is the text that I saw on the Comedy Central press site. My take is it means that they're going to do it. They optioned it for a feature film that's a musical.
Oh, my God.
Which would be incredible.
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's directed by Michael Cruz Kane, who's a friend of TCGS back when it was the stage show and appeared multiple times, and then wrote the Ghost of Dom DeLuise song, which was part of episode 19, The Great Presidential Debate.
I'm really excited to get to that episode, too. I love that episode. And then also in 2015, How Shit Works came out, which was a web series created by Josh, and he starred in it as Steve, and then Matt Denny played Julian. And it's like a real fun, absurd parody of like how stuff works, kind of.
They talk about how they make super glue,
Yes.
which of course is made by horses out of centaurs,
Yes.
and how car batteries work.
The car battery one was my favorite, I think.
Yeah, there are many dimensions and many portals into space, and car batteries just might be one of them.
And there's a hidden truth that Big Car Battery doesn't want you to know.
So again, 2015 just being a huge year for Josh Sharp, and also they had Vamoose, which I have watched like 4 times already because I keep having to show it to my friends.
That's been like a common theme with this episode is we're just like, hey, Josh Sharp did this cool video. He also did this cool video.
No, like shut up and watch it. Like shh, shh, shh. Yeah, so it's Josh going about his day, and people start disappearing is essentially the thing, and it gets extremely art house, extremely fun. Don Finelli produced it as well, and he plays Josh's boyfriend. Of course, it was shot, directed, and edited by Tom Levin. And TCGS writer and Los Spookies co-creator Julio Torres appears as a barista. Little Banks on Wall Street, which was Carmen Christopher's web series. Johnny Conroy plays a quick role, as does Aaron Jackson. Yeah, I exclaimed, you put it in the notes, what is this glorious art house nonsense? I want more. And I do want more.
I definitely want more. I loved it. I think you also said something about how it's like Lynchian comedy.
Yeah,
it has that sort of uncanny weirdness, which is beautiful.
It's super Lynchian. It's just like stuff's happening. It's not going to explain those things to you because that's not funny.
No, yeah. Sitting down and being like, okay, by the way, that short you just watched, here's the metaphysics.
Yeah,
Like,
right?
I don't need that as much.
I don't need the metaphysics. Yeah. I was surprised to see Mael wasn't actually involved in that one. We think she might have been being a Kickstarter artist in residence at that time.
Because we know she was a Kickstarter artist in residence, but we're not sure if the dates line up. But
Yeah.
in 2016, Comedy Central posted the clip Nasty on the Subway, which is a clip of Josh's stand-up and his observational comedy about the New York subway. And it is wonderful. It's about a minute long. It was recorded at Caroline's on Broadway.
Yeah. People eating chicken wings on the subway and things about them.
And hypocrisy.
He was on the special without Brett Davis a couple of times in 2016, but he wrote an entire episode, which we don't have the title of the episode on the notes.
It's acting.
Acting?
Yeah, he was on once. He was on once on that episode, acting, which is the one we watched, where it was a high school acting class on the show, and then a former student comes back and takes it over and is this like beautifully tyrannical
teacher,
status hungry character.
It's so good. It's 40 minutes long, and I honestly did not even notice that it was 40 minutes long. It's so funny.
Aaron Jackson is also in it as another of the students with Josh, who plays a student who just wants a fine arts credit. That's all he wants.
Just wants the fine arts credit. We got some high school stuff, some coach stuff. It was interesting to see all these kids who had definitely taken a lot of acting classes in high school. Pretend to be acting students in high school.
They did a really good job of capturing that sort of like cringy teenage high school acting thing where it's very intentional with your lines.
Jared and Ivanka is a series of shorts for Funny or Die, where Josh plays Jared Kushner and Aaron Jackson plays Ivanka. Oh my. Again with the power dynamics.
Yeah, like that. I think that's a recurring thing he uses to like really good comedic effect, because it was also in the special. In this one, the one we watched, Jared brings Ivanka breakfast in bed, and we
all know that woman doesn't eat.
Yeah. But it's definitely check it out. There's a bunch of them on YouTube.
Same with The Opposition with Jordan Klepper, which was 2017 to 2018. It was a parody of right-wing media. I never watched this, but I'm like, Colbert?
Yeah, it was. So what Colbert was to Bill O'Reilly, the idea was Jordan Klepper is to Alex Jones, where it was like an updated version for how that whole thing had evolved in the years since Colbert started. And as I mentioned earlier, Josh Sharp and Aaron Jackson played a duo of provocateurs in the mold of Milo Yiannopoulos, where they're just very clueless.
They're like clueless individuals who are extremely conservative, doing things like busting onto college campuses where conservative views are being silenced and fascism is happening.
And they're very conservative in a specifically like anything to own the libs kind of way. It's not just like, I think we should really lower taxes.
They talk about the overdue advocacy for eating human flesh.
I'm glad someone's finally making that case.
Yeah.
I think it's been missing from our political discourse for entirely too long.
Right? They had the Globalist attack on Christmas, which is another sketch. They play conservatives arguing about keeping Christmas not gay and not German. There's just a lot of that's where the bad Nazis are from, first off.
Did they say the bad Nazis?
They said that as characters.
That's hilarious.
As characters.
No, I know. But that's a hilarious character choice to be like, right? that phrasing is awesome for those characters. I didn't see that one. So that's why I'm reacting with such weight. But like, did they?
Yeah, I had fun with autoplay this afternoon. I'm just like, oh my God. They have Going at the Movies, where they just like dig on movies that came out in 2017, including Star Wars, where one of the clips from the top of the episode comes from. And they go through an entire list of Christmas movies that are also about marriage.
Huh.
There are so many.
Like Christmas with the Cranks?
Sure. But also like a million bajillion more. Like,
yeah.
I'm amazed that I've gone a Christmas without becoming married to someone, because apparently that's what Christmas is about.
That's the reason for this season, and it's why you can only have one Christmas that truly embodies the reason for this season.
They do a climate change video where they're hoping to save crab dicks.
That leaves me with questions, but I guess I'll just have to watch the video.
Yeah, sometimes their quote was, climate change isn't real, but if it is, it's not that bad, and humans didn't create it. But if humans created it, then it's good, maybe? I didn't write that quote down.
No, but that's perfect.
They do it snappier.
Well, I mean, yeah, no, we're not grading you on performance of their jokes. And then in 2018, he did Josh Sharp Sings live. There's an exclamation point after Sings. And the show description was, in this show, Josh Sharp does an extended set of stand-up all inside of one long D'Angelo song. Does that make sense? Of course not. It'll be equal parts gross/heartwarmingly gay. It'll be equal parts gross/heartwarming/gay. So I guess, or you're a bigot.
That's an important distinction. The gross/heartwarming/gay.
Yeah.
If it's not /gay, just heartwarming and gay, it's a whole different thing.
It definitely was worth doubling back like I did. But also, Time Out New York described the show in what I think sums up, really captures his aesthetic. They said, quote, in this show, quote, brilliant Southern lunatic Sharp mashes up political horror, dark gay satire, and the D'Angelo discography into a hysterical masterwork. And that's it. That's perfect.
Yep.
I also wish the show had been recorded because it sounds amazing.
Right.
Because I don't know what that means. I still can't totally picture it. I just know I want to see it.
I just want it. Like his weird art house shit. I want all of it. I want him to make a movie with David Lynch, and I want fucking Identical Twins to be directed by David Lynch. Whoa, what would happen even? I don't even know if those styles match whatsoever.
I know. I'm also just the idea of Lynch doing a musical.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a really good point. But anyways, he does a stand-up show. Improv show called We Will Turn You Gay. And if you go, you'll be turned gay. It's a cast of Brian Fass, Jeff Hiller, Brandon Scott Jones, Aaron Jackson, and Josh Sharp. Yeah. I want to see it.
It sounds really good.
Put it up like fuck this shit, but film it better than fuck this shit.
In 2019. No. Yeah, I agree. I mean,
you've seen those videos.
I mean,
it was also a couple years ago where getting equipment that would easily film all of that was a lot harder and more expensive.
But I would love it if UCB
I can dream.
Do that. But
Tom Levin, get on it.
Come on, Tom Levin, we're counting on you. In 2019, Josh Sharp did the show Josh Sharp Psychobabble, which was described as Josh Sharp, Toot Up Queens, The Opposition with Jordan Klepper, does a new hour of comedy featuring a 500-slide PowerPoint. Number of slides and whether this event will really be comedy subject to change.
Yep. Doing those little subscripts really fast is hard.
It's really hard. It's really difficult. Very difficult. Very difficult. Very difficult. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I lost it right there.
You were just saying the same thing, too.
I was just saying it over and over and over and over, and it was still very difficult.
Yeah. And, of course, he was on CGP, the podcast, alongside Michael Cruz, Kane, Carmen Christopher, and Justin Bott, who I want to get for this show.
Yes. No, I would love to get Justin Bott.
I'll do the whole show with Forrest Bott.
Just me as a bot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Star Wars.
You nailed it, Chris.
And yeah, upcoming, if you are in New York, you can watch We Will Turn You Gay on August 29th at the UCBT Hell's Kitchen location. Go see it. Go see Josh Sharp on, what date is this Wednesday? See him in 2 days.
Yeah,
Or I
see him
suppose
on
one day.
August 24th.
Not well. If you want to.
I mean July 24th.
See
August
him?
29th is his show, We Will Turn You Gay. His CGP show is July 24th.
Yeah, please watch it.
You could also watch it on August 24th. It'll be on YouTube by then.
That's a good point. But yeah, thank you all so much for listening to us drivel on. Stop wasting your time and go watch some Josh Sharp videos.
Seriously, they're much better.
Stay on us, Chuck. It's our segment now.